ready? No debate, cause they sold. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant, slay the competition cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
no, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Right, cool. Thank you. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday. We've made it. We're here. We got a great lineup of guests. We have one guest for the whole show. We have one guest for Six Pack, and Matt's wearing a cowboy hat. Not just a cowboy hat, a cowboy hard hat.
Yeah, this is certified. So for anybody that doesn't know, I'm an inspector on the railroad. So I have to have a hard hat, a vest, and safety glasses at all times. This is a legit hard hat. It's got the serial number and everything. It is certified and everything. I just can't wear it because it doesn't have a DOT sticker on the front. But I got to wear it in the office every single day because I scored the least amount of fantasy points this week. Scared him away.
That's okay. Joel from Value Fantasy Football will be back in a few minutes. He is, of course, if you don't know who Joel is, you should. He is one of the best writers Belly has to offer. He's one of the few art writers I read his stuff because honestly, it's a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to read. He's one of the few guys I actually look for. He's also just a great football writer as well. He'll be back when he figures out his technical difficulties. We appreciate you stopping by. We got a great show today. We are coming off of the hottest week your boy had. Oh my Lord. Oh, it was great, Matt. How you feeling this week? You ready for this Thursday game tonight as well?
Yeah. I think I honestly think this could be the best primetime game we might have had this whole season. It doesn't include the Denver Broncos, and it also doesn't include the Commanders and the Bears or the, fucking Texans and whoever else. So I'm actually kind of excited for this game.
I get a Brady revenge game, as in it's not against the Ravens personally. It's against just the NFL because Brady would look like crap. The Buccaneers looked like crap the last 2 weeks. And honestly, I'm all for this game. I have no idea how I'm picking this game in about 20 minutes. So when Joel returns, we'll kind of see what he's feeling with this. I am very optimistic about this.
I think this is a good chance I think this is a winnable game for the Buccaneers, especially because it's at home, right? It's in Tampa, right?
Yes, sir, it is.
I think this is a chance for the Buccaneers to get back on track. Right now, they tied with the division with the Falcons. I think this is a game that they can win and they can advance and take sole possession of first place for the time being. If you really break it down, Lamar's got Mark Andrews and Mark Andrews only. Like Duvernay and Bateman aren't bad receivers. They're not number ones. It's they're not even a Doug Baldwin because Doug Baldwin was always that, like, is he a number one? Is he not? They're not even on that level, in my opinion. So as long as they can contain Lamar Jackson, double team Mark Andrews, and just see if it's going to be Gus Edwards or Kenyon Drake running the ball, just maintain the run and just double team Lamar's favorite target. I mean, that's the key to victory, in my opinion. The Bucs have the defense. They got the coach for the defense. I mean, Todd Bowles, to me, is not the greatest head coach, but this is a game I think the Buccaneers can win and get back on track. I think, Brady's personal life issues are affecting his game, so we'll see if Lamar can capitalize on that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think this is a game the Bucs should win.
With this whole game, I really look at it from the simple point that we've heard about the Ravens going after receivers, right? We know it's the weakest part of their offense. We know everyone's been trying to tell me for the last 2 years since 3 years now since Lamar's MVP season. He is a top 10 quarterback, and I want to believe him. I do. I really do. And it's the same thing I've been hearing in a different, I guess, a different filter with Trevor Lawrence. Different way of looking at it. But I really don't get I get the allure almost. But I don't understand the extra jump Lamar gets to make a decision. I don't get the extra hurdle that he doesn't have to cross. And I get Lamar had the great Heisman season, he had the great 2019 year, and he's a great running quarterback. But his development as a passer has really, I don't want to say irritated me, but it's kind of like I look at it almost like everyone gave Hurts so much crap when he couldn't pass the ball by year 2. It's like, oh, Lamar. I'm like, Lamar ran for half his yards. I hope y'all realize that. And he played on a much better roster. It's year 5, 6. I think Hurts is a better passer if we're on a comparison because they're very comparable quarterbacks because of their style of play.
Yeah. Lamar, during that time, I mean, he averages maybe not even 200 yards passing. I don't even think, maybe like 175 passing yards, and he rushes for 70 something. So listen, like I said, as long as you can contain, Lamar can throw. He can throw touchdowns. He can do everything a quarterback can do. If you can take the run game out of his play, then you're just limiting him to the one, I would say, the most weakness that he has, which is his throwing, because he's the world's greatest freaking running quarterback. If you could just limit his mobility, escaping the pocket, then you should have no issue just, forcing some turnovers in the air and just stopping the pass.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Bucs a little bit. Their secondary's banged up. I think they're missing, 4 out of their 5 starting guys, you count the nickelback? Or maybe 3 out of the 5? I'm not even sure how you look at it at this point. But it to me, it's turning into how much more can the Bucs take before they get kicked out of the playoff picture? Where I'm not kicked out, I guess, but how much more before they're staring down the barrel of not being in the playoff race at all? Like, they are so eliminated where they are. I don't know. I'm sorry, folks. Trying to get Joel back in the show. Joel right back in the show right now. And
listen, I think emotions on Brady's end is what is hindering Tampa Bay's season right now. I mean, if you look at Brady, he looks terrible. His face looks like it's caving in. He looks like he is not healthy. He visibly looks like he's not himself. And I know he's 45, but last year he almost went to the Super Bowl. Like, that 6-month difference, like it's not like, he's declined that much. I think his personal issues with his relationship and everything like that is affecting the season and the emotions and everything. And I mean, I don't know if maybe if Brady wasn't going through what he's going through, the team would be in a much better spot. But I definitely think, like, he's a human being at the end of the day. Like, I think this is affecting him, and it's affecting his play. If they had a quality backup, maybe it wouldn't be such a terrible idea. Todd Bowles was like, listen, take the day off. I'm going to put in fucking Jacoby Brissett or Jimmy G or something like that if they have those guys in there. But they've got Kyle Trask, and, like, I think the other one is CJ Beathard, maybe it is. I don't remember if it's Beathard or if it's somebody else. But Brady's obviously their best chance at quarterback. But I mean, like I said, if they had a serviceable backup like a Teddy Bridgewater, I think it wouldn't be such a terrible idea to give them a day to breathe and relax. But it's it'll be interesting to see. Todd Bowles also, I don't think is the greatest candidate for a head coach for that team. I think he's a fantastic defensive coordinator, but I think they should have went with Byron Leftwich for that job. Mm-hmm. But I need to see the Buccaneers receivers not drop passes. I need to see Fournette run that ball. I need to see them look like an actual team that wants that division and is not just going to settle for, an 8-10 or a 9-8 season kind of thing.
I don't think, like, you brought this up on the show on Thursday, I believe, right? And what was crazy to me was you said we had a lot of crazy takes on our show on Monday, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, it is our newest episode. It's available on Spotify, iTunes, I believe iHeartRadio, and of course Spreaker. Matt brought up a great point, and that is that maybe Todd Bowles isn't meant to be a head coach. What up, Beth? Missed
Beth.
you. And by the way, her Jaguars, I have a really hot take. I'm going to drop again because anybody missed the show. In about 20 minutes, we do start talking more ball. But I think Todd Bowles, I think Bruce Arians was what made that team good. Am I off base there? I think he is what made that offense so electric, so on point, so, I guess, in tune with what Brady, Mike Evans, Godwin needed. It almost feels like the team's given up and quit. And it's really scary that the best team in Florida right now for all football is the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
College ball in Florida is absolute trash right now. You have Miami, who literally, as I'm wearing a Miami hat, can't get out of their own way. You have the Florida State Seminoles, who everyone said this was their year, but they can't do jack either. And then you have Florida, who's I don't know what Florida is. We need to call an SEC expert like Cruz or Kevin to get an answer there. But and then I don't count UCF or USF or any of those schools or FAU. Who cares? But Miami Dolphins have been great. But with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think it's just the experiment should have been 2 years max. I think we're already seeing with the Rams right now. I don't think the Rams are making the playoffs. They don't have the personnel for it. I think the best team in that division is the freaking Seahawks. Because that team's playing for their coach. They know Pete's got maybe 2 years left in him, maybe 3 if he's lucky. And they love the fact that Geno's going off and Kenneth Walker's going off and DK and Lockett are having great seasons. And it's without Russ, who, as we're starting to see, may be literally toxic as hell for a locker room.
Yeah. And I mean, if I'm the Seahawks, listen, I'm still looking at a quarterback next year, whether it's a draft or free agency or a trade, I'm still looking to upgrade that position. Because listen, as a Jets person, I love Geno Smith. I wanted him drafted. When they drafted him, I was excited when they got him in the second round. I thought it was a steal. He had a very good rookie year for us, going 8-8, not a great second year. And then the third year was when he got punched in the face. Ghost.
So climb up the back of my chair.
I feel like, I don't think Geno would have succeeded with the Jets. Nothing with him. I just think we never had the personnel, coaching and general manager in place for him to succeed, to get players for him. So I'm glad he's succeeding with the Seahawks. But listen, they're playing for their coach. They're having fun. Maybe Russ was the issue. I know DK's out for a couple weeks or so, but
it shouldn't be as bad as they thought it was. That's the word I've been hearing lately.
But listen,
it shouldn't be a terrible injury now.
Listen, next man up mentality. You lose Russ, Geno steps up. You lose Rashad Penny, Kenneth Walker steps up. You lose, I don't even fucking know what tight ends that they have, but Noah Fant stepped in and it seems to be doing okay and seems to be staying healthy. But they're doing well. They're doing so much better than I think anybody in the NFL thought they were going to be, and they're first place in that division right now. And that's not going to be an easy game for the Giants.
We're that game's, by the way, great preview for that game is also in our 6-pack, but. Game we're talking about right now, and I think we're on our own until Commissioner Cooper gets here. I don't know if Joel's going to be able to get back to us, which stinks because I'm actually saying his name correctly. I gotta go the Ravens, man. I've been wrong. Last week was the first week I was right about Thursday Night Football, and I think my hot streak is continuing. I do not trust this Buccaneers team with this bad a secondary. Lamar is not the best passer in the world. Honestly, if you ranked all 32 quarterbacks based on passing ability, he's probably in the low 20s, high teens. But overall athleticism, overall quarterback playing leadership, that's what puts him by the top 10. And running ability on its own puts him by there, but his leadership and his ability to be a leader for that football team. I just want to see them close the damn ball game out. They almost gave it away to the freaking Browns. They needed a questionable call from the refs on top of everything else to get that game done. So that all being said, Matt, I got to go with the Ravens. I really do think that when we're looking at this game going forward, I think this is the first time. Well, they're talking about on the radio today. They're like, oh, Brady hasn't lost 3 games in a row in his entire career. I'm like, that shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
That shouldn't matter because right now I'm staring at this game saying, Brady might catch an L tonight, and he doesn't always play good in Thursday Night Football either. That's always kind of been his MO.
No, I agree with those points and everything you're saying. I'm gonna be the lone wolf in this, and I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I'm gonna side with Brady. To go back,
there's two of us.
Oh yeah,
don't coin the
that's
Rich
true.
Eisen term. I know you guys have won like a couple straight games, but I don't know. Ghost, who are you picking right now? Buccaneers? No, he's looking away. Ravens. Ghost picks the Ravens.
Oh boy.
Oh, look who's here. Hey, McCarthy, you want to join in? We're down a man. You want to hop back on for your redemption for victory lap? You did pretty good in picks last week.
To backtrack briefly to what you were saying about the coach, I think Bruce Arians, I mean, I know his health isn't always the greatest, so he stepped away for health reasons probably, unless Brady forced him out. I think he was the best candidate for that team. I mean, he's always been a veteran coach. But you look at him when he was in Arizona, he had all that success. He had Larry Fitzgerald. He had Carson Palmer. He brought in Adrian Peterson. I think he had Jermaine Gresham for a while from Cincinnati, Patrick Peterson and everything. And he's just a veteran guy. He likes the older guys because they're dogs. He had Brady. He had Gronk. He had a veteran and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. He had Ndamukong Suh and everything. So I think he had a good team that meshed because he had a mix of young youth, but he also had a mix of a lot of veterans to hold everything down. So I think he was the perfect candidate for that job. I wish he stayed for another year. I wonder what they would have been like. He might have had a heart attack if this is the season that we're going to have under him. But I'm going to pick the Bucs with this one. Just what I was saying before. Listen, because they have a good defense. And at the end of the day, emotions are running wild down there, the quarterback. But if they can just control Lamar and stuff the run, you're going to limit him to just passing, and that's how you're going to beat them. When you force him to just pass, that's how you're going to beat him. So you got to control the pocket, keep him in there, stop the run. That's all you got to do. So I think the Buccaneers are going to bounce back. I'm going to go with Brady. See if he proves me wrong. But I'm going to go with the defensive side of the ball, and I'm going to just assume that somebody ripped the receivers a new one and say, if you don't catch these balls, you're sprinting until you puke.
BA is technically still on the sideline. And joining us now, one of the best writers Belly Up has to offer. This man stood an entire podcast with me while I butchered his first name for an hour and 20 minutes. You know his patience because he probably had to watch that abysmal showing by his Patriots on Monday Night Football, who cost me money. But it's okay. It may have killed my hot streak, but then again, I never bet well on primetime anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now in the corner with Pregame, one of the best writers at Belly Up Sports and also one of the best Belly Up football writers we got, Joel. What's up, buddy?
There we go.
I love it.
We were going to do it again, but thanks for having me.
Yeah, I saw his little pause before he said Joel, and I was like, he's going to do it.
Hey, Joel, throw some earbuds in, but we are echoing like an MF off your levels right now.
I actually don't have earbuds that can plug into my laptop. I turned my volume down though, if that works.
Actually, that worked a lot better. Actually, we'll just there you go. Just get Mike close to your mic. We should be able to work it out.
You know, that reminds me of the movie The Rookie when the guy was like Henry Rollin Gardner. It's just a big echo.
Oh my god, I love it. Either way, Joel, who you got tonight, man? I gotta ask because you came right in time for picks. I took the Ravens. My cat took the Ravens. Weird story. I asked him, and he looked away when I said Buccaneers, so I'm guessing he picked the Ravens. Hard hat cowboy over here took the Bucks. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucks as well. I mean, you don't see Brady lose 3 games in a row. He's lost 2 games in a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him lose 3 in a row. So
he hasn't his entire career.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. Well, there you go.
Ever since that we're on the Cincinnati game, never seen him lose more than 2 in a row.
That game was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. But man, I want to get your opinion, Joel, because what's going on in New England? We got to talk about the quarterback situation. First of all, who do you want starting? Second, what's Bill got to do right now?
Well, I'm a Mac guy through and through. You can look back at all my stuff. It's always been about Mac. But I think we're due for a big bounce back win against your Jets. So
This
prepare
game's also
yourself, maybe.
this game
I
is
think
also
it could be a
the
big week for Mac. He could have a big game, kind of get things back in the right direction. It's been a weird couple of weeks to say the least.
awesome.
Really don't have much of an explanation about it.
Fair enough. Listen, sometimes I take picks off of just straight gut, right? So my straight gut told me the Patriots because I'm like, Bill doesn't lose like that back to back weeks, right? But I'm looking at you guys. We'll talk about this game a little bit more later. Just Monday Night Football to me was just weird because I just felt like I'm like, this is not the Patriots I know. Something's wrong.
You know, it's funny because we were just talking about that game on Monday and we were all shitting on the Bears. We're like, we were both like, Patriots are going to drop like 30 on them and everything. And I wasn't expecting that. I don't know if you agree with this, Joel, or not, but I don't think Mac Jones is completely healthy from the injury he sustained in the beginning of the year. He didn't look comfortable, and Bill was quick to take him out. So I'm kind of thinking maybe he needed a little more time to rehab. Like for me, I kind of feel a little more comfortable with Mac playing this week because I just don't think he's the healthiest option that they have. I think Bailey Zapp is healthier, and I think he might give them the better chance to win this game right now, just based off of the fact that he's not dealing with an injury from the beginning of the year. But things just didn't look comfortable Monday night, and you put Bailey Zapp in, and you saw the immediate change in the offense, and I think it's just because he was just ready to go, and he's not, coming off of anything. But I am worried for Sunday. I'm never comfortable when I play the Patriots. It's never a given.
No, yeah, I agree 100%. I don't think Mac was 100% healthy last game. I don't think he even should have played. We should have went with Zappy, rode his hot hand, and then if things went south, we could have put Jones in maybe, but we didn't have to play Mac Jones that game. So, but I think he's ready now. I think he's ready.
I thought they should have waited, honestly. I think you're right. Before we move on to baseball, Bill, what do you think about this whole theory about the ESPN Skycam causing that Mac Jones interception? Have you heard this story yet?
Yeah, and I saw it. I think it looks like it hit it to me.
I thought it did too because I saw the spin rate change. It looked like it stopped it a little bit, maybe slowed the ball down. And leave it to ESPN to fuck something up for the Patriots.
Yeah, I saw something that said it was like 15 feet away from the ball, but it did not look like that. So I think
no, come on. ESPN's always going to cover their ass. We know how this works. All right, so moving on now. Starting tomorrow night is one of the greatest sporting events the world has, the World Series. Now, it's an interesting dynamic because you have one of the perennial teams right now. You have the Houston Astros. They are this decade's they're always there. I hate saying they're the NL Dodgers. They're the Dodgers of the AL, but they kind of are, except everyone hates them. They always make it to they always make it to the championship series, except for this year, Dodgers. And a little happy about that one. I hate the Dodgers. And they just have a great system, a great farm talent, and they have a lot of superstars. They have a checkered past, but they end up showing up anyway. What I think is interesting is the team they're playing. Now, I've talked to a bunch of different baseball fans, and I've seen everything from, I can't root for these guys, man. I can't root for the Phillies. I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Braves fan. It's like, guys, the Philadelphia Phillies are America's team right now. Does anybody really want to see the Astros besides Houston fans? But by the way, Houston fans, I give you all the credit in the world. Rooting for pure evil is a hard thing to do by itself. Ask Patriots fans, right, Joel? And the thing is, it's hard enough to root for pure evil, but at the top of this, I think that the Phillies they're like a lovable team. Like, they've had some of the best moments of the World Series, of the playoffs so far. That Rhys Hopkins home run in Game 2 where he does the bat spike, absolutely electric. And then Bryce Harper's home run in Game 5 to close him out, was just like goosebumps kind of shit. Like, he is literally getting the dugout going like, did I hit that? This series to me is fun. Like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Houston, Washington a few years ago, where it honestly has a David Goliath feel to it, and I'm really anticipating. I want to watch at least 4 out of the 5. Hopefully, this game goes 6 or 7 games.
I'm hoping that so obviously as a very upset Yankee fan, I don't want the Astros to win. Credit to the Astros, though. I'm not trying to put anything past them. They were the better team. They swept us. They from the start to finish, they wanted this more than the Yankees wanted this. They deserved to be in the World Series. And they had a great season, and I really love Dusty Baker as a coach even before the Astros. So I'm happy to see him get some time in the World Series too. But the Phillies are fun to watch. Like you had Joe Girardi, who, let's be honest, how many last couple of years?
I'll get to him.
The last couple of years, all you heard from like Phillies or Mets fans or anything was that when they needed that was a funny comment. I saw that one.
I fucking love DJ.
He's too unnecessarily handsome.
Dude, that jawline is just chiseled.
Listen, all the Philly, like when I was going to the Jets games, my usher is a big Phillies fan. My friend's a big Mets fan. They both wanted Joe Girardi before either team had, Kapler and Buck Showalter's coaches. And then they finally get Girardi, and they're all thinking we're going to the World Series or doing this and that. And then they fire him because he sucked, and they put the bench coach up there, Ron Thompson. And now they're in the World Series, but they're fun, man. They're like an 80-something win team. They're just defying the odds. They beat the second place Mets. They beat the first place Braves. They took down the Padres, and now they're in the World Series. And it's fun to watch them. And I'm kind of hoping that they just kind of tear apart the Astros. Like I'm looking for the underdog to win this game, but I really don't want to see another Astros World Series win. But the Phillies, man, I'm hoping that they don't lose momentum going into this.
I really love the fact that Phillies have been just winning games, and it's just by slugging the hell out of the ball, decent pitching. It feels like an October baseball run. And I don't know, we've been watching the sport. I've been watching baseball since I was like 3 years old. Matt, you probably around the same. Joel, I'm assuming since you're from the Boston area, you've at least watched a few Red Sox games in your day. But the thing is, I love October baseball, but there are some teams that just irritate me with how they go about it. Like, it's the teams that just hit maybe 1 or 2 home runs. They play small ball, dominant pitching, and it's boring. But the Phillies have this flair for the dramatic, which to me just makes them more you have to root for them. You have to understand, like, the city of Philadelphia, as much as you may not like their football fans, as an Eagles fan, I understand why people don't like us. It's okay. I don't lose sleep over it. But Philadelphia Phillies baseball fans are honestly some of the nicest people I've ever met. It's like they change a shade when they turn into Phillies fans. Yes, they'll heckle the hell out of Mets and Braves players, but who doesn't? Mets fans are the fucking worst. I'll tell you that right now. I go to a Mets Diamondbacks game every year to watch my Diamondbacks play, and every year I want to fight about half these losers from Queens wearing the stupid blue and orange Mets polos who are there on a Friday night avoiding their wives, and I want to slug them. But I'm with my grandparents, so getting into a bar fight is not the most opportune thing. That being said, I think the Phillies fans are fun, and this series is going to be a blast because both teams are electric. You've got sluggers like Goran Alvarez, Bregman, freaking Bryce Harper, Reese Hoskins, and freaking Kyle Schwarber. It's just fun. It's going to be a fun series. And the fact that Nick Castellanos caught the series ending out is so ironic for how shitty of a year he's had. I love the fact that man is now playing in the World Series when he was considered 3 months ago being one of the worst offseason signings in baseball. Joel, what are you thinking about this series right now?
I'm not going to lie. I haven't watched a single baseball game probably since like week 1 of the season.
Well, I mean, but, John Henry's running that team to the ground.
I'm definitely riding with the Phillies. I think the underdog story is there. Bryce Harper. How can you not root for Bryce Harper to win a World Series? So
yeah,
I'll be trying to watch maybe a game, but we'll see.
And also with you, Beth. May the Schwarb be with you.
May the Schwarbs be with you. Anybody who doesn't get that needs to go watch Baseballs and get a life. I have one thing to say to all of you, and that is this. If it ever loads. There we go. Phillies money line, Phillies future. You don't like it? Get off my show.
What's the line?
I think they're -2 something for future. The money line for the game is like -1 something. It wasn't that low. It wasn't like they did not give the Phillies a lot of points. They were like, oh, it's gonna be close. And I'm like, shit. I hate when Vegas actually had So the line right now is Houston -170. That's
Mhm.
that's in the NFL equivalent, that's like -4.
Mhm.
If we're gonna go NFL betting equivalent. But oh man. I'm excited for this World Series. It's gonna be a fun time. First pitch is tomorrow, I believe, 7:30.
I'm assuming Aaron Nola and Verlander.
No, Verlander's out.
Really?
I believe it's this one. What's the number 2 guy? I can't remember his freaking name right now.
Oh, it's not McCullers or
It's
Frambler Diaz or something like that. Frambler
8:00.
Alvarez.
Oh, Aaron Nola. Oh, Verlander is gonna tough it out. Good for him.
Was he hurt?
Listen, I love the fact that he's like almost 40 fucking years old and still throwing absolute missiles off the mound. So I have no complaints here about this game whatsoever. But yeah, no, Nola versus Verlander, which is going to be just an absolute freaking pitcher's duel, which I am maybe a couple of key home runs. But the thing is, I like a pitcher's duel if one guy slips up and hits a dinger. I hate the pitcher's duels where everything's ground ball outs, bunts, and it kills baseball. But I think it's going to be a very fun World Series. And let's get some headlines before we get to our picks. Matt actually did a pretty good job bringing this up because, Matt, we'll talk about your Yankees for a second. As me and Joel being outsiders, right? Diamondbacks and Phillies for me. Joel hasn't watched a baseball game because John Henry running his damn Red Sox into the ground. Talk about your Yankees and Hal Steinbrenner, Boone, Jeter. What the hell is happening in New York right now? You wrote a paragraph about this, by the way. Like, what the fuck?
So you know it's bad when the quietest man in the world, Mariano Rivera, comes out and says Aaron Boone should be fired. So my issue is my owner does not have a set on him. His father had the biggest fucking balls in the world and would fire you for fucking winning 101 games and losing in the World Series. This guy, Hal Steinbrenner, is a cheapo and has no issue with not getting rid of Aaron Boone because he probably just doesn't want to pay him for 2 years while he gets another coach. So I don't know. Somebody has to go, whether it's Boone, whether it's Cashman. Somebody needs to be responsible for this team choking for the last 6 seasons in a row in the ALCS, ALDS, the wild card. Somebody needs to take responsibility because we're not getting the job done. I'm tired of seeing this team win 100 games and then they just fucking blow it in the first game of the season. So you have Hal Steinbrenner coming out and saying Aaron Boone's pretty much safe. He has no intentions of firing anybody this offseason. I don't know if that means he's not going to renew Cashman, if he's going to give him a contract. So then you have Derek Jeter pretty much coming out and saying Aaron Boone's my friend. I like him. I don't think he should be fired. He should stay. And everybody's all fucking on the same page, Lottie frickin' da. And then Mariano, the voice of the people, which is why I love Mariano, comes out and says pretty much Aaron Boone should not be hired and should not be employed. He should be fired. And there's a lot of backlash on that. Like, I think people are trying to get him to take it back. Like, oh, Mariano, you sure you're – but I hope he stays true to his guns because it's the truth. That's what the fans want to hear. And then I'm tired of this bullshit of the players are like, oh, telling their agents, oh, it was so ruthless playing in New York this last series, like as if they're complaining like they want out of the team. Like, this is such a soft generation of players. I don't care that my team's won 27 rings. That's besides the point. Like, the fact of the matter is if the Red Sox or the Diamondbacks, if you guys were in the championship series and you got swept, are you going to cheer your team? Are you going to fucking throw them a party? Like, good job, guys.
Oh, hell no.
Best. No, you're going to boo them.
If my Diamondbacks made it this far this year with a bunch of guys who are basically younger than the three of us, I'd be okay with it, okay? But problem, the average age of the Diamondbacks roster is 26 and a half, I believe. I'm 27, almost 28.
Yeah.
Here's the kicker. Your team has the second highest payroll in baseball? Third, maybe?
Oh, yeah, we got a high payroll. We probably got the second or third,
yeah, you guys are held to a different standard than us poverty franchises are, okay? Even Joel at this point as a Red Sox fan by proxy can tell you his team is a poverty franchise because he's a cheap-ass owner. But what kills me about the Steinbrenners is I grew up hearing the legendary stories of George versus Billy Martin, firing him for winning 102 games. I like him hating Reggie Jackson, even Reggie Jackson like led the league in home runs. This Yankees franchise just feels soft. They feel out of date. Michael Kay, who I hate, had a great rant. I was like, all right, Mike, I hated you my entire life, but you know what? Not bad. Not bad. I like it. I'm for it.
George Steinbrenner, just to paint you a picture, George Steinbrenner told Buck Showalter in the 95 or 96 season, whatever the season was, they won. I'm sorry, it wasn't Buck Showalter. It was in the 80s, just to back to your point about Billy Martin. In the 80s, after the second or third time he fired him, he told the coach at the time, win or lose, you're fired. Billy Martin's coming back. He announced in the middle of a baseball game, in the middle of the regular season, that Billy Martin was coming back as manager. I'm trying to read and talk, but Billy Martin was coming back as manager. Well, the fucking manager of the team is still in the dugout. Like, that's the kind of guy he was. Listen, you got 3 months to coach. And that guy won the World Series. That dude won the World Series, and he got canned, and Billy Martin came back in. That's the kind of guy he was. I thought it was amazing. He was sorry, Joe.
I got one question.
Yeah.
I feel like as a Yankees fan, you have to look at this season and think of it as a success because of what Judge was able to do. Is that true or false?
Oh, yeah. No, I was thrilled with what he did for the team.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be kind of happy about the season. But
I'm not complaining about the season. I'm just complaining about I thought the players were soft when they were like saying they were upset that they were booed in the championship series. I'm like, listen, you got swept by the Astros. The one team that the franchise or the fan base wants you to beat, at least make it competitive. The season-wise, I thought it was amazing. I'm happy that Judge broke the AL home run record, and I hope that he gets an 8-year contract and comes back to the team.
Don't hate it.
I think there was just a lot of expectations, especially when everybody was saying this team was the best team since the 98 Yankees. And then it was
the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You go from projected 118 wins to 99, which, again, not an issue. I'm happy with 99 wins. I just wanted a better performance from them against the Astros. At least look like you wanted to win a game because they were striking out. Judge alone had almost 30 strikeouts that series. He had 7 the first 2 games or something like that.
Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things to me, and I will wrap this baseball discussion up. We'll go to the NFL headlines quick. I am blown away by how this team is. Everyone hyped this. The Yankees for the last 4 years, as an outside perspective, right? I live in the Northeast, but I just don't really like the Yankees. I don't really like the Red Sox either. Hate the Mets, and my team is the other opposite side of the country, literally the opposite. I look at both these franchises. They are working with so much money, but they make strategically bad moves. You'd think, okay, the Yankees need pitching. They haven't had a good number 2 starter since I think I was in high school. Okay? Seriously. They have great hitters. Awesome. You should have dealt Rizzo for a pitcher. Call up Arizona. Hey, we'll dump you Rizzo's contract or we'll dump you Gallo's contract. Give us Merrill Kelly. Arizona would have said, click, deal, done. We're good. Give us a slugger because that's what wins down in Arizona. You need home run hitters in that altitude. Or call up Colorado, go get their number 1 starter who's had a great season, or go call up San Diego, or call up freaking Texas. There are a lot of teams who had number 1 guys who could have easily helped their team out, even the fucking Reds too. And the Yankees said, oh, no, we're going to double down on hitting and pitching. Even though pitching has hitting and our lineup size. Even though pitching has won the World Series, I think 5 out of the last 7 years. Where the team with the dominant pitching staff ended up winning the whole damn thing. So, with that being said, if I look at the Yankees going forward, I think it's a matter of when is enough for Brian Cashman? Because to me, it goes farther than Boone. It goes up the guy who's pulling his strings, and that's Brian Cashman. But we have a lot to cover before we start kicking off the 6-pack in about 5 minutes.
I just read too that Rafael Devers is looking for a 10-year, $300 million contract with free agency still a year away for him. They're saying they're still a little far apart, but I listen. I think that's the heart of that team right now. I give him whatever he wants next to Xander Bogaerts. If we want to address George Cook's comment really quick,
I actually was about to ask about this because Joel, you're a big a football guy as us right now, and honestly, you probably deal with the fantasy guys more than we do. This is an interesting one. Tough start sit for y'all. Half PPR, Evans, Higgins, AJ Brown. Damian Pierce needs to play. Obviously, I like Damian. I think you sit Mike Evans.
Yeah,
AJ Brown.
It's hard to play people on Thursday nights.
Yeah, I don't like playing people on Thursday nights either. It's like a death sentence.
I'm definitely sitting Mike Evans. I love Damian Pierce, and honestly, I think right now with this one, I want to tell George to start T. Higgins just because I know Jamar Chase is hurt, and I just saw that they might place him on injured reserve, so Higgins is automatically bumped up to that number 1 slot. So that's my opinion. I like Higgins for this one.
Yeah, well, not automatically. You still got Tyler Boyd, but I'd probably start Higgins too, just because of Jamar Chase situation going on there.
I like Higgins because of no Chase, and the fact is that Cleveland's secondary has been shaky. I like AJ Brown against Pittsburgh because honestly, they're going to be so concerned with trying to stop the run. The play action is going to be always there, and I think this Pickett is going to lead to a lot of easy interceptions for both Darius Slay and James Bradbury, leading to easy turnovers for short fields for Hurts to get the ball to his playmakers. And the Eagles are so creative with how to get Hurts and Brown and Smith the ball. He'll get his touches. And Damian Pierce, you cannot not play him. So.
Well, George, if you're still with us, majority says Higgins, but we all mutually agree you need to sit Mike Evans.
Just sit Mike Evans. So yeah, if you start Higgins at Brown and Pierce, if you can. Listen, I'm kind of hosed right now. The only guy I got tonight is Devin Duvernay, thank God, on my bench. But at my flex, I'm starting Brian Robinson over Raheem Mostert's my running back 2 right now, but I'm a little worried he might not play, so I'm going to swap out him and Brian Robinson right now because Eckler's on bye. It's killing me right now. To play as devil's advocate, Evans. I don't know, man. He's against Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey. As much as you want to think that, like, the Ravens' one strength of that defense besides their interior is their freaking cover, is their secondary.
Marlon Humphrey is one cornerback that not a lot of people talk about, but he is, quietly one of the best cornerbacks that they got in the league right now. And I wouldn't trust that matchup, especially if he's not Marlon Humphrey, it's not Marcus Peters. They can go have Kyle Hamilton shadow him.
I mean, listen, that's your funeral. If you want to bench AJ Brown, because AJ Brown's interesting. Like, he's always going to get a couple targets, and who's going to cover him against Pittsburgh? There's not a single corner unless Minka Fitzpatrick's going to line up 1-on-1 on him. He's going to eat. Hurts is going to dump the ball off to him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to
I like that.
I like playing Higgins and Pierce out of those. AJ Brown, for me, he's been up and down points-wise in fantasy. He gets me 14 or 15, then he gets me 10 or 9. Definitely think you should bench Mike Evans for this one. Hopefully we're not wrong, but
well, George is going to get at us like crazy. I got a wild card for when you start. I just picked a Marquise Goodwin off of like waivers and Zay Jones just to bolster my receiving core and a 12-man. I'm loving my receiving core. A lot of depth there, boys. I'm starting. Oh my God, this guy's loaded a fucking running back. Fucking.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Walker.
Oh,
George, if you're not first,
all right, so then throw Higgins and Brown in there.
George, if you're not in the top 4 in your league, I'm questioning all things holy because your team's loaded. When I hear something horrible, I dropped Kenneth Walker week 4 to pick up a receiver because of injuries, and now he is the 3rd highest valued running back in our fantasy league. And Kevin of Tailgate in the Quad has him in my league, and he's not letting him go, and I'm fucking pissed about it. Oh my God.
That the other one's interesting. Starting Gus tonight or Kirk or Judy. So the thing with
Gus, start the Gus bus, baby.
I agree.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's going to get touch after touch. And the thing is, the Buccaneers.
Wow. Our guy George can trade.
Oh, yeah. Trade Swift for Ertz.
The fact that the guy he traded Swift to hasn't even really been able to use him.
I know. This is crazy,
George,
right?
you were the man. Yeah, I like Gus too. Kirk's going against that Broncos secondary. He's going to be shouted by Patrick Surtain the whole time. I'm not a big fan of that.
I'm not either. Also, Jacksonville, by the way. Beth, the point I was about to make about the Jaguars, because we got to move up to the 6-pack in about 30 seconds, is that I think Trevor Lawrence is not a bust, but that bust label is hanging over his shoulder and starting to put the fingers on him. Like, dude, like you got to make the throws. Don't believe me? Go watch some of the film from Sunday's game against the Giants, because there were guys open. That Giants secondary is not as good as everyone thinks, and he just stared down Christian Kirk and Zay Jones at the end of that game. But didn't mean to cut y'all off. We are on a time crunch because our next guest is so important. We had to get him to put on a blazer, a fancy background. This man is literally the leader of a 3-ring circus that we call TSS Fantasy, because it's time to crack a 6-pack, brought to you by the amazing people at YeastOfficial.com. You want amazing shades like these that are Jared proof. I'm not even fucking kidding about this. I've worn these to Darties, beach parties. I wore these for work for like 6 months, and I left them in my work truck. My Tacoma was disgusting. There was more like marble cleaning fixtures. I used to be a contractor everywhere, and you know what? They stood up. They still work. I'd still rock them to a bar later if I had the time. Ladies and gentlemen, YeastOfficial.com is owned and made in the state of Florida. Beautiful state right there, like our next guest. And, dude, the personalized packaging, they have a ton of styles, and it's cheap. $40 max price for polarized sunglasses. You can't beat it. YeastOfficial.com, promo code Corner Booth for 10% off. Official sponsor of Corner Booth and Value of Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man, a myth, a legend. He is a 3-ring circus leader for those wild motherfuckers over at TSS Fantasy. He is also the definition of Florida man. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Cooper, Commissioner Cooper.
What is going on, fellas? Table for 4. I'll take the corner boot tonight, and it's Halloween week at TSS, so I came dressed appropriately. What's up, fellas?
How we doing, Jason?
Doing well. Appreciate you guys letting me in for a little 6-pack. And I actually thank you for sending me the college picks this time. So I actually did a little research.
Listen, I'm not Kevin. I'm not going to blindside you with MAC football, okay? This poor dude's sitting on our screen with an elf costume on for our Christmas show. And it's like, who the fuck is Grambling versus Southern Illinois State?
You might as well as introduce me as Charlie Chaplin at that point, because I literally had nothing to say at all.
I didn't either. If it makes you feel any better, I think I shot over 3 that week. And I was like, I think Kevin owes Jason an apology. He'll do that later. That's the last time I ever let that motherfucker ever pick a single game for the 6-pack, even if he is guest hosting. Oh, he just worships anarchy. I'm starting to realize that. But most Alabama fans are. With that in mind, we have a lot of great games. 4 NFL games this week. Maybe it's because we got 2 NFL guys as our guests this week for pickers. But we do have to talk some college ball. And it's strange, right? So, we try. Why did that not save? Well, while I'm trying to fix the other shit, I despise StreamYard sometimes. Here's our first game. These are 2 teams that have screwed me over repeatedly in 6-pack. So I figured, why not have their matchup in the 6-pack this week? Because both teams have fucked me at least twice. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know who Will Levis is, as an NFL fan, you should. He's one of the best college football prospects in the country at quarterback. He drinks mayo with his coffee, and his Kentucky Wildcats, the best team they've had in program history. Here's the kicker. Since Andre Woodson was there, at least. By the way, if you don't, my older NFL fans know who Andre Woodson is. Here's the kicker about the Kentucky Wildcats. They are a decent roster, but the problem is they're going up against probably the most complete team. This is true. This is true.
Good old DJ
coming in with the lukewarm take because it's on point. Oh my god, yeah. Literally, StreamYard decided just to start deleting my banners today. Either way, Kentucky, Tennessee, Tennessee has arguably the most fun roster in football to watch right now. You got Peyton Manning smoking cigars in their locker room, looking like 19 LSU right now. I will start with Matt, Mr. Hard Hat Cowboy. What are you rocking with tonight?
Well, first, I don't think you were here for this, Jason, but I am wearing this because in my work league, I scored the least amount of fantasy points this week. So my punishment is I have to wear this around the office the entire week. A whopping 61 points because of I think I had a Monra in there, got me 1 point until he went out, and then I had to have Mariota in there because I had Jalen Hurts on a bye, and I'm in we're at a 10-team league with like a 9-man bench, so there was not a lot of pickings to choose from.
Yeah, no, it was a big week last week for buys. So
with this college game, I'm going Tennessee over Kentucky. I think Tennessee has a sufficient offense. They're number one in both points scored per game at 50 and yardage per game with 571. So I like them over Kentucky. I'm a big Will Levis fan, but I think Tennessee is going to edge them out in this one. So give me Tennessee over Kentucky for this one.
Very nice. Very nice. I will also go with Tennessee because I have picked against them 3 times. They have fucked me in my 6-pack 3 times. I despise Kentucky because when I was 3 for 3 so far in college, these idiots lost by 7. And also, nobody trusts a man who puts mayonnaise in their fucking coffee. Will, give me the time. Give me the volunteers. That shit is wrong. I've heard grass-fed. I've heard grass-fed butter because it's helpful vitamins for your brains. I've actually tried it. It's very good. It's a little weird texture-wise to start, but mayonnaise can't get behind it. That just seems wrong. Jason, how you feeling for this game right now?
Ooh, it all feels wrong. My tummy feels a little rumbly after that. All right. So I actually looked this up. Look, first and foremost, as a fan of America's team, the Miami Dolphins, I can't stand Nick Saban. Not a big Nick Saban fan at all for obvious reasons. So it was last week, whatever week it was, when I watched that in the Rocky Top moment, I was really excited. Plus, me and the wifey got a cabin in Tennessee, so I'm a big Tennessee fan. Let's go with the Vols this week. I did look it up. History is in their favor. They do lead the series between Kentucky 82-26-9 is the series between the two. And I looked up their like offensive and defensive rankings. It's usually what I do for fantasy stuff. Tennessee, number 1 overall offense in the NCAA. And I went to look for their defense. I just couldn't find it. So I'm not really sure. But on Kentucky side, their defense was around the 14th. And then their offensively, I couldn't find that neither. So I think Tennessee rolls in this one.
All righty. Joel, how you feeling about this?
I'm completely with you guys. I actually have a big future on Tennessee, so they're my national championship team. They have been for the Bama game, so.
Nice.
Do we have a clean sweep? Wait a minute. Did you bet Tennessee or Kentucky? My brain's
I bet Tennessee. I was going to see if you guys seen DJ's latest comment.
Oh, yes. We're going to put this up right now. Because DJ may be on point with the comments today. He's hit 3 home runs so far. Ladies and gentlemen, our miniature version of Daniel Jeremiah and DJ Stewart. But yeah, no, seriously, he's right though. Wet dream, and honestly, a clean sweep for the boys for Tennessee right now. But what sucks about this game is that Kentucky's played a great season, but I think Tennessee is this year's SEC buzzsaw, and not named Georgia or Alabama. There's always one team in the SEC every year who kind of revolves in and just kicks the piss out of them. It just depends on how good Bama and Georgia are that year. So a couple years it was Florida under Urban Meyer. One year it was Auburn with Nick Marshall and those boys. I think those are the team that lost to Jameis. And then you had 2019 LSU was another one. You had Cam Newton's Auburn Tigers. I think there was a Dak Prescott's Mississippi State Bulldogs, Johnny Manziel's Aggies. There's always one SEC team. It like rotates every year. You had Michael Sam's Missouri Tigers one year. So it's definitely the SEC always has that third team that kind of just F's everything up, and I think this year it's Tennessee. With that being said, moving right along here to Happy Valley, where we're going to have a whiteout at noon. the fact that the line is this freaking big, and the fact that I actually kind of called this, one of our listeners, Mike, he's a guy who lifts with me in my gym. He listens to the show. He's a big Ohio State guy. He's actually from Columbus. He asked me, he goes, "What do you think the line's gonna be?" I'm like, honestly, when my honestly got opinion, he goes, "It's gonna be under 20." He goes, "No fucking way." I'm like, I'm serious. Penn State got their ass kicked by Michigan, and I will still not forgive them for that. 2, Ohio State, yes, they haven't played the best teams this year, but listen, the amount of talent they have, this is going to be a close game. And yes, OHIO. Yes, I fucking hate that chant. With that being said, you have the best quarterback prospect in the country, possibly in CJ Stroud. You have a very good Penn State team led by Sean Clifford. I don't even know how the fuck Penn State still ranked this high. But you know what? Listen, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt here. This is prime upset territory. If somebody wants to take the money with this one, who's going first, gents? Joel, let's start with you. Who are you taking here?
I'm actually taking Penn State. Nope. No reason really, but sometimes you just got to go with your gut. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking Penn State. Be upset.
I'm going to roll with Ohio State on this one. I'm going to stick with the favorite. I think Ohio State's defense is going to limit what Penn State's going to be able to do on the run. They've got the 4th best defense in success rate against the run. It's going to be one of those games to me where I think it's going to be Ohio State 34, Penn State 21.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is actually going to be a straight blowout, just like the other one. I'm looking up statistics. Ohio State, number 2 overall in the country on defense, number 4 on offense. Penn State on both sides of football, or I couldn't even count. It was like 40 to 50. Like I just got tired of counting on both sides. So, it just doesn't look statistically like a good matchup. Ohio State overall in the series is leading 22-14, believe it or not. And the first time these teams played was in 1972, and the Penn State won 37-0, bringing the fun stats for you. But it's Ohio State all day.
Cooper always bringing the haymaker stats, which is that's why I always love having him on our show. He's a hard guest to book, though, folks. But I got him tonight. I'm excited.
It's only because the little one is up at this time, so I have to hide in the back. So that's why that's the only reason I'm hard to book.
Fair enough. All righty. Everyone, I haven't picked yet. I'm going with Ohio State. Listen, I'm riding a hot streak. I had a perfect 6-pack last week. Won $180 courtesy of those nice gentlemen over at FanDuel. Here's the kicker, right? When it comes down to it, you need who has the best trenches, who's got the best weapons, and who's got the best quarterback. You just answer your question. It's all freaking Ohio State. And Ryan Day has earned my respect as a head coach. Do I love him as a head coach? Nope. I think he's not even top 10 in the country. But is he better than James Franklin, who literally called his team mid last year? Yes, I think he is. OHIO, whatever. Ohio wins.
FUCK.
All right, time for big boy football here. All right, Patriots and Jets. The Jets fan has to go last for obvious reasons. We'll start with the other. Wow, we have an AFC East show except for me just breaking up everything. I'm like a proxy Bills fan, like my second favorite team. So fuck yeah. We'll start with the Dolphins fan up in the right corner over there. Jason, how you feeling for this game of your two hated rivals?
Man, in fact, last night's show we had Big Game Wednesday, so we had a couple guests on debating this game. And you look at it statistically, the Jets should be favored, should be the team that wins this. But I think, if you look back at some of these Jets games, no offense to Matt, but a lot of their offense is very stagnant. It's just a bunch of Breece Hall big spurts. That's what you've seen, and you don't have that now. James Robinson is there, but he's definitely not Breece Hall. Doesn't have the juice like him. Bill Belichick game plans well. I have a feeling that the Patriots are going to come in and take down the Jets, kind of even things out in the AFC for America's team to be right up there at number 2.
Joel, how you feeling?
Well, I think I already said this, but I think this is going to be a get-right game for the Pats, and I think Matt could have a pretty big day. He needs it right now, and we need it too. So,
turn to Matt.
I'll let Matt go first. I'll go last. Listen, there are a couple teams every year in the NFL season that always capture my heart and always make me happy to root for them. Being an Eagles fan, I love underdogs, okay? I love getting into a straight-up street fight with a team. We went out and got Robert Quinn this weekend, and you know what my first thought was? Oh, fuck, we're going to put Dak Prescott on his ass. It ain't about, oh, shit, we're going to shut a team. Like, I am more excited for a team to shut a team out and break their quarterback's spirit than I am for scoring 50. Because, you know what, to me, I love football games that just get personal like that. Hell, I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan. This episode's named after the late, great Sean Taylor, okay? Like, this dude was known for, he hit a punter in the Pro Bowl. Like, I love teams who punch you in the mouth repeatedly. The Jets, I was worried about them this week, and then they go out and get James fucking Robinson. Okay, yeah, it may be a 7, 8, 9 game rental. Fuck it. Because him and Michael Carter, that's the most physical running back duo I've ever seen. And the best thing is, the Jets haven't changed philosophy-wise at all. Corey Davis looks like he's going to play. Thank God. You have Elijah Moore coming back because he's got to earn that trade request he wants so badly. And you still have my boy BB, Braxton fucking Berrios, on top of Garrett Wilson of Ohio State, by the way. And by the way, Urban Meyer jokes, yes, at least he didn't kick a kicker. Got a little Urban Meyer jokes. With that being said, like Kyle Brandt goes on a brazen rant about a team he loves and roots for, I am backing the Jets. They have delivered money in my wallet for the past 4 straight weeks. I love watching them play. Wilson, is a great human being. Whether he looks like a Disney Channel villain or not, I love it. I love this team. They're fun. And I honestly feel bad that the Eagles have been kicking their ass for 60 years. 19-0, by the way. Only team in football that's undefeated against another team. Jets by 7.
So the one thing that my Jets have done very well for me is just continue to just fuck me over and break my heart. So let's go down memory lane and just keep that trend going. Why not just fuck myself a little more? So the Patriots have 22 series sweeps over the Jets, 15 under Robert Kraft, 13 under Bill Belichick as head coach. A couple of key games. 2021, we lost 54-13, and we also lost 25-6 to the Patriots. 2019, we lost 33-0. 2018, we lost 38-3. Bill Belichick, if there's one team he knows how to beat and beat bad, it's the Jets. Maybe it's because we hired him in like 2000 and we told him he couldn't be GM. So he told us to fucking kick rocks, and he went and Bill was fucking great with New England. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he just knows he's just got a personal vendetta with us on that. I was very confident going into this week before Breece Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker both tore their ACL and tore their triceps. I was ecstatic when they answered back and they traded for James Robinson. I felt like there was 3 guys that I thought could have replaced Breece, not in a full capacity, but I was looking at Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon, and James Robinson, so I was happy with either of those. He doesn't obviously take Breece Hall's place. James Robinson's a very good running back to have as a paired up with Michael Carter kind of guy, so I'm excited to see how that goes. I am going to take the Jets, obviously, but I'm more confident with Mac Jones, I think, playing just like what I was talking to Joel earlier. I don't think he's completely healthy from the injury that he sustained in the beginning of the year. I think he's still working through some things. I think him playing last week and being immediately taken out only kind of hindered his maybe confidence rather than like lifted him up. I think Bailey Zapp is the better quarterback for them to win them a game, mostly because he's got the hot hand and he's 100% healthy. So I think he's the best option for them, but I'm not going to question Bill Belichick's judgment. Key to victory for me is just this defense. They need to keep doing what they've been doing the last 4 weeks, which is just keeping the score low, punching you in the teeth, sacking you, taking the ball away, forcing some turnovers. I need them to be dominant like they have been the last 3 or 4 weeks. I also will be the most realist Jets fan and tell you that Zach Wilson does not look good. 110 yards, 126 yards. I need to see something from him. He's not looking like he's taking that sophomore leap. He's not looking like he's doing that Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson thing where he's taking his game to the next level early on when he's still in his rookie deal. So I'm hoping this is a game where he throws more and he throws better. He makes smarter passes, smarter decisions, doesn't force balls into tight areas. That sounded terrible, but anyways, so so I am going to go with the Jets. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a very, very close game, like that spread. I think it could be a 3 or 4 point type game. I think the key to victory, like I said, is the Jets defense and that run game. I'm hoping that James Robinson can keep that run game momentum going. But I don't expect this to be a pretty game, and I don't expect this to be a wide spread of a game. But give me the Jets by like 3 or 4 points.
There we fucking go. A lot less animated than I did, but because you know what? That's just who I am as a person. All
I'm
right.
going to give this series a split, though. Like I think we're going to take the L when we go to New England.
Which a lot of teams have over the years. Not going to lie there. Let's go to 49ers Rams, fellas. Now, this game used to mean something. This game used to be a sign of grittiness, pass rushes, running the damn ball. Two of these new school ex-commander coaches. Now, both teams are kind of a joke to me. The 49ers, their defense is more injury prone than Carson Wentz and Robert Griffin III playing hopscotch. Their offense is literally known for gadgetry and all these great things, and they've basically reduced their best weapon, Deebo Samuel, I said it, to basically nothing. Thank God I didn't trade. Actually, no, honestly, that trade I could have made for him and Javonte Williams would have saved my ass. Anyway, Christian McCaffrey is not going to save you, Kyle. You're the most overrated head coach in football. The defending champs look more lethargic and lazy than any of my relatives after Thanksgiving. Or a 2019 Miami Hurricanes team after Jaron Williams throws a party before the game. Any Hurricanes fan knows those jokes. Either way, with this being said, two lackadaisical, lazy, sloppy, overrated teams playing each other at 425. I swear to God, Fox and me, this is my game of the week. I'm going to cancel my TV subscription at halftime. With that being said, the line right now, San Fran at 1.5. Gentlemen, how are we feeling right now?
I don't think this is going to be very much like a fun game to watch. The Rams are not looking good. I actually had them as my NFC favorite for the Super Bowl for a Super Bowl match. It's obviously not looking like that anymore. The Niners, I think, would have done better if they just went with Jimmy G from the get-go instead of forcing Trey Lance in there. I really don't think they even needed to get Lance. I mean, if you look at the win-loss record with Jimmy G healthy, it's not a bad record at all. So I think they should have rolled with him. Nevertheless, Kyle Shanahan has a 7-4 record against the Rams since being head coach of the Niners in 2017 and on. It's going to be a close game. I'm going to take the Niners. I'm going to take them. I like the defense. I don't like the Rams' offensive line. I think it could go either way, but I'm just going to take the Niners on this one, to be honest with you.
Jason, how you feeling?
Yeah, I like the Niners in this one as well. Quite frankly, like you guys have just talked about, the Rams look just putrid on offense. Can't get it going anywhere, really. Running, Cam Akers, what the hell happened there? This craziness that went on in that backfield. What's going on with this team in general? Allen Robinson can't get off the ground. Matt Stafford seems to be injured. I'm not really sure why he can't throw the ball down the field very well. So they're just very ineffective. Lazy was a good term for them because that's kind of what it feels like. I don't think it's going to be as close as you think. I think at least the Niners by at least 10 in this matchup.
Joel.
Yep, I'm also going with the Niners. The Rams don't look good on either side of the ball. If the Niners can stop Cooper Kupp, I don't see how the Rams could even have a chance. And I actually do think CMC could be himself and do some damage this weekend. He didn't do much last weekend, so.
I tried to find every single way possible if there was a way for the Rams to win. I tried to think of some heroic speech to give to make myself think I could bet on the damn Rams. Here's the problem. I just looked at the Rams' 3 wins this year. You have the Falcons, who can basically not stop a cold unless you throw it to AJ Tyrell. You have a win over the Cardinals, who basically are the most inept franchise in football right now with the amount of talent they have. And then you have a win over the Matt Rule-led Panthers. Yeah. Not great, guys. The Niners, they beat them 24-9 back in the first week of October. It's ironic they're playing each other so early. That being said, these teams, as much as Kyle Shanahan has dominated them, we're always waiting for that team to have a pickup, right? And the 49ers, to me, have been this interesting anomaly. I can never understand them as a roster, right? So they lose to the Bears opening weekend, and it's rainy, it's nasty, whatever. They kicked the piss out of the Seahawks. Great, whatever. Seahawks are 6-pack because they're first place in the West right now. They lost to the Broncos in literally maybe the absolute worst football game I've ever watched in my life. Then they beat the Rams. They beat the Panthers because so does everybody. Then they lost to the Falcons. Lost to the Chiefs. I'm noticing a trend here. They lose to teams with explosive offenses with quarterbacks who can sling it. Say what you want about the Rams offense. Matthew Stafford, as much as he's been asked this year, Matthew Stafford always has a few tricks up his sleeve. Not only because I'm definitely lone wolfing it this week, but I'm going with the Rams for the simple reason that a defending champion cannot be this fucking bad. They still have 80% of that roster left. The Niners looked embarrassing for the final 3 quarters of that Chiefs game last week. And yes, the Chiefs are one of the 3 best teams in football right now, but they're not that much better than the rest of the league. Give me the Rams at home. Just something about it feels like, all right, betting on the Niners here almost feels like a little too easy. So that is my 2 cents on that shenanigan. All right, moving on. This is the game I can't wait for. You have the New York upstart Giants, led by the most amazing man in New York, Brian fucking Dable. This dude drives an F-150. This dude shows up, looks pissed off as hell when he starts. You have Daniel Dimes with actually less than his average amount of turnovers. Saquon's Barkley's running hard. They just traded Kadarius Young, Joka Tony. So they actually might have a productive receiving core finally because that dude just cares about rapping. I'm feeling great in Kansas City. So, all that being said, you have the Seattle Seahawks. I fucking love that Geno Smith is tearing it up this season. No man has been screwed over more in football than Geno Smith. I will contest to this, at least in the last couple of years. I think Josh Rosen may have the winner, but Geno's pretty close. This dude gets drafted to the back end of the Rex Ryan years. And Matt, if I'm not mistaken, he was fired, I think, after Geno's first year, 2 years.
Oh, Rex Ryan?
Yeah.
I believe his last year was when he put Mark Sanchez in the playoffs or in the preseason, week 3 or whatever, and he got fucking tore up his knee or whatever. I think that was his last year.
Okay, and then you have Todd Bowles.
2014 was his last year.
Okay, 2014. Todd Bowles. Then he goes to the Giants. He's Eli's replacement that breaks Eli's winning streak. Not good look. Then he gets shipped out to Seattle. Has a decent backup stint when Russell's finger hurt too much from Sierra kicking it. So, with that being said, Geno's had this kind of whole travel career, right? Insert DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, the great rookie running back known as Kenneth Walker, and the Seahawks team who would love it nothing more than to stick it to Mr. Unlimited. Broncos country, let's die. Like, I love the poetry that is this Seattle Seahawks team. These are 2 of the most loved teams, right? Their stories are amazing. And that's why it's ironic they're playing each other this week. That being said, gentlemen, who are you picking this week? Mr. Cooper, I'll start with you.
I don't know, man. I'm just like so stuck on this one. It's like I just see Gino crashing down. By the way, speaking of Matt, speaking of being a Jets fan, as a Dolphin fan, I know exactly what you mean. Being ready for the disappointment. And it's the same feeling I have for Geno Smith, but also the same feeling I have for these Giants too. I'm just like waiting for the other shoe to drop on either one of these teams. But in this one, I like Seattle's offense just a little bit more, even without DK Metcalf. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks in this one.
I will say this going forward, and I will when looking at the Seahawks offense, they are explosive, they're fast, they're well balanced. I looked at all the Giants wins this year, guys. We're all gonna go down memory lane quick before I make my pick here, because you know what? Being the host, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Let's go back to the first week. All right, with the Giants, I think they lost week 1 to the Dallas Cowboys. Am I right? No, they lost. No, they won week 1 to the Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill's not a good quarterback. Not gonna mince words here. He's average at best. Then they beat the Carolina Panthers. Okay. Beat the Chicago Bears. Great. But then they got our attention. They beat the Packers in London. How have the Packers done since then, guys? The Baltimore Ravens, who literally choke harder than the Dodgers in any round but the divisional. Then they beat the Jaguars, but they beat them by literally Trevor Lawrence putting a ball. If he puts it a foot lower, Christian Kirk walks into the end zone, but he has to jump for it. I think this is lost too, kids. Give me the Seahawks here. I think Pete at home. East teams don't travel well to Seattle. There's something weird about that stadium. It's a strange place to play. Gino's been rocking the ball. Listen, Marquise Goodwin looked elite last week, because you know why I love Geno Smith? Elite arm talent. That's what his MO was out of college. Good ball placement on the deep ball. He's not always the best with decision making. That being said, the Giants don't have the best secondary. So, give me the Seahawks. I'm taking the -3. I think this is a perfect opportunity for the Seahawks to assert themselves as the clear front runners in the NFC West. In this case, worst.
I like the Seahawks too. The Giants, like you said, going into what is Seattle Stadium? I can never remember the name of it.
Safeco?
Is that what it is? I don't know.
No.
Either way,
I don't know.
going into that stadium, it's loud. Century Link, yes. So one of them. Going into that stadium, it's loud. That's why they call it the 12th man. That's why it's intimidating to play there. It's not easiest because it's so loud you can't hear the play getting called. Daniel Jones cannot stay upright when he runs. It's just kind of funny to watch this guy just trip on his own feet when he tries to run for like 10, 20 yards. I know they don't have DK Metcalf, but that Seahawks team is fun to watch play. They're having fun. They're playing for that coach. Geno Smith is having a great year, and they're 4-3 and they're first in that division. And nobody thought they were going to be even first in that division at any point in this entire season. They are the underdog. They have a chip on the shoulder, and they're playing to that. And I think they're gonna just live up to that again this week. Giants traveling west on a hot team that's first in their division. That's not supposed to be. Give me the Seahawks on this one. You got no Kadarius Toney. Kenny Golladay is pretty much just a non-factor. He might as well not even be playing. Sterling Shepard's not healthy. Darius Slayton is a hit or miss receiver. And then you have Wan'Dale Robinson, who is not completely healthy in his own self, but he's only got a couple games under his belt so far. They're going to rely on Saquon Barkley heavy this game, but I don't think that's going to be enough for them to get that victory. Giants will be 6-2, which is still a fantastic record for them, but I think the Seahawks take this one at home.
All right.
Yep, it's a clean sweep. I'm also taking the Seahawks. Everybody's talking about Dayball, but no one's mentioning Pete Carroll. He's doing a great job. Looking like a great team. And, I think the Giants they're due for a loss. I think they want to lose this game. They need to get one out of the way.
I think the world has to hit them a little bit. I totally agree with you.
That's
All right, last last game of the week, and this game might be the ugliest. I almost swapped this out for Monday night, but I said, you know what? Rodgers may put up a fight. We don't know. Packers are, take a guess, gentlemen. What's the line?
Oh,
How?
God. It's got to be over 10.
Okay. Jason, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna go 12.
Right in the middle, 11.5, according to Caesar Sportsbook right now. Holy shit. I'm going to see Eagles Packers in Philly in about a month, and I hope the line isn't this fucking bad. Holy shit. Fellas, the Packers have a losing record. The Mr. Back-to-back MVP. And that, like, I don't even know what the hell to make of that offense. I try to make excuses for the Packers, and I can't. Christian Watson looks like a good gadget player. Romeo Doubs looks like a good number 3 receiver. They need to go get DJ Moore, Odell tomorrow. And I don't see them doing it yet. With that being said, I'll make this easy, folks. Bills by 20. Because, listen, Buffalo is a world beater. They almost got McCaffrey, all right? Like, they may go get Alvin Kamara, allegedly. Like, there is a serious problem here. The Bills literally might try to murder everyone in football for fun. As an Eagles fan, for some miracle we make the Super Bowl, I am terrified we have to play these fuckers and they're scary-ass fans. So, with that being said, Buffalo scares the piss out of me. Bills by 20.
I know one team they don't scare because we went toe-to-toe and already stuck them in the mouth already. So I'm not really worried about the Bills at all. No, just kidding. The Bills, like you said, they're on point. They look like, the cream of the crop. The ironic thing is, during the summer, this was my predicted Super Bowl. I just thought Green Bay was going to turn this offense into what it really should be, into a more run-based offense with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. You're in a cold fucking stadium, with the snow. Why would you not be running the fucking ball more and a little play action from Aaron fucking Rodgers, the legend? That makes sense. That makes your offense tick and makes it some kind of identity. Right now, you're trying to throw the ball with no weapons. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but eventually those weapons do catch up to you. Bills just look all day great on both sides of the football. So, yeah, like you, I like the Bills big this week.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that trend with the Bills. Listen, they're all around. They're a fantastic team. They have a great offense, great defense. Even that run game's not the greatest, but it's working enough. I mean, they drafted 3 running backs in back-to-back drafts, and one of them's got a hit. But listen, Aaron Rodgers, he's not making bad throws. He's putting the ball on his targets. They're just not catching them. Like Romeo Doubs is not catching the balls. Randall Cobb is not healthy. Sammy Watkins is not healthy. Christian Watson, like you said, is more of a gadget guy. Kind of reminds me of like a Tavon Austin, not the greatest receiver, but like a good little kind of jet sweep kind of guy, little special team guy, good slot guy. But Robert Tonyan's hit or miss by the week. They don't have a complete team. They got a good defense, but they don't have a complete offense. And I think the Bills are going to run this score up. I could see the Bills winning this game by like a 17-point type margin. So give me them, and this is just not the week the Packers get back on track.
There you go. All right, Matt, are you taking the Jets as your upset pick this week for 2 points?
Well, they're favorites. I don't think that'd be the upset.
I'll take the Bills too.
No, they're not.
I don't need
no,
to
they're
explain,
minus.
I'll take the Bills.
They're minus 2.5. They're plus 2.5.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, sure. Why not make that the upset pick?
Because they're home dogs, so they'd be 5.5-point dogs at home. So yeah.
I thought somebody said the money line was in the favor of the Jets, which I was afraid because I figured that was a trap game. Everybody was going to bet.
Last time I checked, it was minus 2.5 for the Patriots.
All right, I'll take it. Yeah, sure. Throw that as the upset. Does that mean I don't need a gimme?
You just need a gimme now.
Oh, I got a gimme.
Okay.
Well, we gotta let Joel go first. I don't know if he made his pick yet for the last game. I didn't hear him.
You pick it?
No, but it's all right. I'm also going with the Bills. Until the Packers feed A.J. Dillon, they're not going to win any games. So give him the ball like 20 times every game, or else they have a chance.
I like A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, they need to feed him.
All right, man. Who's your gimme?
Oh my man, I'm going TCU over West Virginia. I had to give an explanation. I didn't think I need to, but yeah.
No, I don't
TCU is
even.
gonna
I'm just
fucking-
trying to pick a freaking upset right now because I
I was gonna say I didn't know if you're waiting for.
I can't take the Jets because that's yours. So I'm like scrambling to find a good upset I like right now because I was going through. I was like, maybe somebody will pick something. I might be able to get away with picking the Jets as my upset pick, and I'm like, no, it's Matt's. He said it first. It's his team. I'm not that big of an asshole. Ugh, but
You
now I
can go
got Pittsburgh over. Yo, shut the fuck up. All right, come on. If Philly loses to Pittsburgh, I hope Jalen Hurts is like yakking on the sideline the entire game. That's the only way that one's happening. You know what? Give me the Panthers over the Falcons. Listen, this
PJ
team
Walker
is
had a good game.
playing for them right now, playing for Steve Wilkes. They only lost McCaffrey. They're not selling Brian Burns. They're not getting rid of that defense, and they're actually PJ Walker is low key playing well. And the best part about that team is, I trust the Panthers defense more than I trust the Falcons defense. Give me the Panthers as my upset pick this week. I'm taking a real shot here, but you know what? Listen, they're on a hot streak. My other option was the Lions over Mr. Cooper's Dolphins, but I'm not an idiot. I'm done betting on Dan Campbell. He's fucked me too many times this year. So
The good thing with the Panthers is that Steve Wilkes can't get fired this year because he doesn't have Josh Rosen on his team.
Heyo. All right, there you go, folks. That wraps up the six pack. Matt, you want to knock out a quick 2 or 3 bonus cans before we run out of here?
I got 1 can.
I got bonus cans as well. I got a bottle because Coors does it better.
Well, bonus little games. I've obviously, like we talked about earlier, I've got the Buccaneers upsetting the Ravens tonight, even though the Ravens are up 3-0 right now in the first. I think Jaguars top the Broncos. Obviously, Cowboys over Bears. I like Miami over the Lions, Vikings over Cardinals, Raiders over Saints, Eagles over Steelers, Titans over Texans. I'm going to actually go Commanders over Colts. I'm on that Taylor Heineke wave.
It wasn't big enough of a line for me, though.
Well, also, that could be the weirdest. That might be the most fun 425 game to watch because you're going to have Taylor Heineke versus Sam Ehlinger. Like, I don't know if that's going to be amazing, and I don't know if it's going to be terrible.
Interceptions galore. One college game I love is Oklahoma State, Kansas State, folks.
I will say, I think the Commanders Colts game is going to be the most fun game to be a little buzz for when that starts, because that could either just be the greatest thing to watch after a few shots of tequila in you, or it could be the worst thing to watch.
You want a game that's going to be a lot tighter than they want it to be. North Carolina Pitt, that's going to come out of the last possession. And other college games I love tonight on FS1, Washington State, Utah. I will take Washington State's money line. I wouldn't take this as my upset pick because I don't trust them as much as I trust the Panthers defense right now. So, but watch Washington State to cover tonight. That's my other bonus can. Bonus cans, of course, brought to you by the amazing people at candydips.com. Promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. Amazing company. These folks screw up an order of mine. So you know what they did? They said, hey, Jared, we're sending you your order again for free. No charge. That's the kind of people they are. I love their company. As a person who used to dip and chew all that shit, it's a great alternative. Their caffeine shit is awesome. The mocha is amazing. I have it with a little cup of coffee in the morning, a little double tap of caffeine right there. I feel amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can check out these amazing people at candydips.com, promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% off. We'd appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate our amazing guests for stopping by. Mr. Cooper, where can we find your amazing content?
Please go to TSS Fantasy on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok. It's TSS Fantasy. Stands for the shit show. You can never forget it. We got lots of fun for you where we don't just sit here and just talk about fantasy football. I know that kind of gets mundane, so we have little fun segments that we like to do. So come check us out, TSS Fantasy. Again, the shit show. Can't forget it.
Listen, they have characters like me on there. They try to get Matt on there. I've seen some wild cowboys on that show, man. You guys get some real dudes and real ladies up there who are absolutely nuts. listen, it's the SNL of fantasy shows, but SNL pre they got woke. So back when they were actually funny. So pre 40th anniversary show, let's say that.
I'm with it.
All right, there we go. And Joel, where can we find your awesome work at Belly Up Sports?
I'm always on Twitter at Joel Flawless. I think you can see it on the screen, right?
Right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Go check his work out. He also has a bunch of articles for our football department at bellyupsports.com. You can search him, I believe by author, but his stuff's always up there. He's one of the few authors that actually look forward to reading their shit because Joel's takes are actually pretty on point. Some of our writers can get a little out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. For myself and Matt, check us out on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We appreciate your support. We love y'all. Shout out to our sponsors, Canadips and Needs Official. We hope you have a great night. Please do not drink and drive. Drink responsibly. Have a happy Halloween weekend, motherfuckers. Cheers to that. Grabbing the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet. Cheers. Boys, you have a great night as well. And we will see you guys on Monday for me and Matt, hopefully celebrating perfect parlays. Peace.
Good luck.